Just on a separate issue, while I've got you both here, doing a tribute to Solly Tyibilika, if I could just get your thoughts on how he inspired you in your careers,
Sure.
both of you.
You go first. Yeah.
Sure. He was
He used
the
to carry his
first.
bag and
Yeah,
his boots. Must
he was
tell
the
people.
first Springbok that I got to witness play as a youngster at school. He went to Loiso, and it was three streets away from my house. And I would be playing in the street, and I would hear like singing, and I would stand on the roof of my house, and I would see people at the school, and I would run, and people would just come to watch him. In that area, like Coach Stick would tell you, there were a lot of good guys, but he was always the like that's who everybody came to see because that's who we believed in for our community. And he played for a club that's okay, Spring Rose. That's
Say the name.
Spring Rose. He played for
Yeah.
Spring Rose, but we used to go when
Chile.
I see at the roof that he's playing. I'd run down, run to the school, and I would sit outside and would fight to carry his bags, and his boots, as the children would sit, and they would just sing for him. And he was just next level. How good he was, and then obviously sing and play for the Springbok, that just switched a light on for me, to say like somebody like him who came from 3 streets away from me that I used to watch, he can make it. It's possible for me too. And then I got to play with him. I played against him when I was 15 years old. He played for Spring Rose. He was at the Lions then. Played for Spring Rose, and I went to Hillbrow with my team. We stayed at Hillbrow,
Sure.
and we were playing at Wits. Then one of the guys got injured, and I was just a water boy. And they looked at me. They said, "We need a loose forward." Then I came, and we were playing against Solly Tyibilika. And I remember he grabbed me by the throat that game because I handed him off, and he wasn't obviously happy. He heard how young I was. And then later on, when I was in matric, I played with him. I played for Spring Rose. I bunked out of school, and I went to go play for Spring Rose, and I played with him at the game. And then I remember a fight like broke up, and then he pushed me aside. He says, "You don't get involved. You just play," and he protected me there. And yeah, every time I've seen him, I remember he played against All Blacks. He got man of the match, and he swapped jerseys with Richie Macon. The whole township was like inspired, and things like that I take with, he's the first Springbok that I got to touch and see, and then see him progress through, and those are the memories that I take with me from Putsol.
Brilliant.
Yeah. What a special gentleman. For me, it's personal when it comes to Solly Tyibilika because it's someone that I've, as a youngster, grew up in New Brighton, played at the same club. He probably lived down the road about 2.5 kilometers away from my house. And in New Brighton, we all wanted to be Solly Tyibilika because he was a brilliant rugby player and also a good brother to everyone in our club. And I became a close friend to him, and we became brothers. We've shared a house together when I moved to Durban. I'll never forget. Solly treated me like his brother, but at times because of my stubbornness. And then that's one thing between me and him. He will always shout at me that I always think that I'm bigger than him, because of that amount of respect that we had amongst each other. And I will never forget my first trip when I moved to the Sharks. We took a road trip to Durban, me and Solly. And that moment is something that is always in my head. So we were sharing also a house together. And yeah, the funny thing, today I can drive. Solly taught me how to drive in his Toyota Tez, and he wasn't worried about the traffic. I remember there's a busy road in Durban, which is it's got taxis and trucks. Is it up the stadium? There's that famous road, Mngeni Road. That's the one. Solly taught me how to drive in Mngeni Road, and I will never forget that moment. So that was a type of Solly man he was towards me. He was a big brother. He was protective around me. And I was the same to him also. We had great special memories together. And those are lifetime memories that I'll never forget. And once again, people don't understand. There are certain things that are motivating us to be better every day, you know. And Solly Tyibilika is one of those people. Whenever at this environment, he's one of those guys that I live for. You know, I live for people in New Brighton. I live for people from the disadvantaged areas. You know, when you get an opportunity, you know, Solly showed us. You know, if you work hard, that's one thing that I know with that gentleman.
Sure.
He will go on a big night and wake up 4 o'clock in the morning after sleeping for 3 hours, and he will smash 10 kilometers like with the proper. So we used to exercise together, and he was a machine, and that's one thing that I've learned from him, and I think that helped me also in my career, you know. And I hope wherever he's sleeping now, he's sleeping in peace and his soul is in a better place. And I know for sure that when I've lost Solly as a brother, I know I've gained a guardian angel, you know. Yeah, what a gentleman. You know, like Sia saying, his name will live forever. I will never forget the first try that he scored against Scotland in Edinburgh, you know. That is something that is special for me as a person, and that is something that I promise him wherever he is now, I will always try to be a better person in life. Thanks to everything that he has taught me as a person, and also the strong mindset to make sure that you keep on working hard. And that's what Solly was to us, you know. And he would, like Sia was saying, he was very, very protective. You know, so yeah, may his beautiful soul rest in peace.
Yeah, if I wouldn't be here, like I wouldn't have somebody would, like I would play in the street as him, do his handoffs, and that's what we do after games when we see. And I think we take it for granted, you know, and it's hard to come out of that, like the mindset that you grow up, you know, you have to grow, you know, and you become, you know, a little bit more, but you can also get stuck in that mindset. And for us, like if you can see the person and touch them, and then you see them get there, and it makes you feel like it's possible for you to get there. And I don't think we celebrate people like that enough, you know, and look after and cherish. Like I told coach, like without the mentors that I've had in my life, I don't know where I would be. And there's far better talent in the communities, you know, than we see. You know, a few of us get bursaries, but there's a whole lot more that's there. That's why we go back and we start tournaments, because we want people to get to see the talent that's out there in the communities.